Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Lau with Schon Crafts, and today I will be sharing with you my July and August currently inked video. Now again, I like to do my currently inks every 2 months, and so I use my pens over a 2-month kind of period. I have for this month 8 more pens that I inked up. I cleaned some from last time, and then I re-inked some old ones, inked up some new ones, so I am excited to share that with you guys. Without further ado, let's start with my first pen here. This is the Conklin Duragraph in Turquoise Nights. So I had bought this initially, or like I was looking at this, and I had wanted this one for my birthday back in, the end of last year. But it was like $60, and I didn't want my siblings to spend that much money on me for a fountain pen. It was, supposed to be like a Secret Santa thing. And then I took it off the list, but then earlier this year, on Goldspot, it was on sale for like $37, and I was just like, oh, I have to get it. So it's a really pretty and vintage style looking pen. The barrel is this gorgeous turquoise with the, I think it's called what is it called, cracked ice design. And like, if you turn it in certain lighting, some of the cracked ice do like reflect light a little bit, but it's not that like prominent as the more expensive Italian pens. And so this is on the cheaper end of pens, and I just wanted to really try this out. Plus I really liked the design. So it's pretty simple, but it's also very nice and like vintage, classic looking, with a little bit of the color for some flair. And you know me, I like my turquoise and teals. This is so pretty. So I haven't used this yet, so I'm going to ink it up for the first time today. And in here, let's see. Today I'm going to do things a little differently. I saw Karina, her most recent currently inked, where she would put a little bit of an ink drop onto the paper so you can see the properties of the ink, and then also see the writing sample with the pen. So I'm just going to do that today. So in my Turquoise Nights Conklin Duragraph, I have my Warringal Wuthering Heights, and this is a really, really beautiful gray green with, well, it's gray, but the green shimmer in it makes it lean very, very much towards the green tone. So it's not just a plain gray, and I'm not a gray ink person, so the green shimmer and the slight green in this ink makes this ink so interesting for me. So I forgot that it's a shimmer, so I need to shake it a little bit so that the little droplet that I get will have some shimmer in it. So I'm just going to do a small dab. And I do have 2 cups of water over here, one with the dirty ink and then one with super, as clear as can be water, so that way I can clean my tools here without mixing any of the inks. So Wuthering Heights, super, super lovely gray green ink. Okay, just look at that, it's so beautiful. Let's see. Okay, and in this pen I have a stub nib, so it's like a 1.1 millimeter stub, and Conklin has that really cute half moon or crescent moon breather hole, and you know, it's a lovely pen, and it feels really good and nice in my hands for a $37 pen. Well, it's 60, but I got it for 37, so that's a great sale price. So this is the Conklin Duragraph turquoise Knights stub, and the ink is Wearing Ghoul, Wuthering Heights. Okay, and it's pretty legible for a gray ink. It's like a medium gray. Okay, so that's my Conklin Duragraph. Excited to try this out for the next 2 months. All right, my next pen is the Leonardo Magico, and this is the Muse X Leonardo collaboration. It comes with this gorgeous, gorgeous green, lime green, black, transparent, teal, all those kind of like lovely shades of green with some black, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful resin pattern. I love this so much. And it comes in chrome, or not chrome, well, yeah, chrome or rhodium trim, so it's silver, and it's got this cute little ink window here. It's so clean, it's so nice, and the nib has a little mountain symbol etched on there. And so this is a medium nib, and I have a shimmer ink in here. If you watched my previous green ink video, you'll see that I had this inked up with my Ferris wheel press OpenSea Atrium, my most favorite like teal aqua green ink with shimmer. It's just such a lovely aqua green color. It's very, very bright and a little bit pale in some cases, but it's a medium, very, very white medium, so it should be just fine using this. Okay, so again, just swirl the pen because it's a shimmer ink, and you can see through the ink window here. It's just so pretty. This is my Leonardo Magico. This is the Lion's Rock Green. With a medium nib, and the ink is Ferris wheel press, OpenSea Atrium. Beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous green ink. I have my colors this month are kind of on two like tones this month, or like two areas. So it's all on the cooler side, you know, because summer is so hot. I want some cooler ink colors for this month. So yep, again, that is my Leonardo Magico in Lion's Rock Green with Ferris wheel press OpenSea Atrium. Lovely, lovely combo. And I'm so, so excited to do lots of journaling with this ink. Okay, the next pen is also a Leonardo. I have 4 Leonardos this month, so I have a lot of them and I love using them, but because I have so many of them, I want to rotate some that I haven't used yet. So this is my Leonardo Momento Zero in the blue Aloha resin. So there, I have an unboxing video of this already, and I'll just put it there if you guys haven't seen it yet, where I unbox this and take a closer look at it. So in this pen, I have a medium nib, but it writes like a cursive italic, like a fine cursive italic, and I love it so much. It's like a happy accident. In this pen, for me, I have Dominant Industry Lake, and let's see, yeah, so there it is, Lake. This ink I thought initially was like a turquoise, or like like a pretty dark turquoise, but when I got it, it actually it's like a color that changes between 2 tones. It's not quite chroma shading, but like it goes down a nice bright turquoise, like a medium turquoise, and then it dries down to a teal. So let's just put a little bit of that ink on here. Oh my gosh, just look at that. Wow. It's so beautiful. Like right now, it's a turquoise to me. Like a turquoise, and in a little bit, it's gonna just dry down to this most lovely teal, and I love teal so much. Okay, so this is my Leonardo Momento Magico Blue Aloha. With a medium nib, and it's Dominant Industry. Lake. Okay, so yeah, just right now looking at it myself, it's like almost a medium deep turquoise, and you can see here already the ink, the green is just like surfacing up, like the green that you see in a lake. Like things surfacing up from the lake, and that green color underneath with the blue on the edge of the lake. That's what this is, and I just think lake is such a perfect name for it. Okay, so my next pen is my Sailor Pro Gear Slim Summer Rain. This is so these last 3 were all steel nibs. This one comes with a 21 karat gold nib, bicolored. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a tiny nib, but it writes superbly. It's a medium fine, and so it's super great for taking notes. Just or if you want to write down really small print in your journals. So for this pen, I had initially inked up a very green, emeraldy green ink in here. I repeated green twice. But after I got my Sailor inks from the Sailor Virtual Ink Show, I had specifically bought Zaza and Shito Shito for both my Sailor Sound of Rain pens. And so Zaza is the blue-black ink, and it's supposed to pair with this pen. So here is the Sailor Shikiori Zaza. It's a nice, cute little 20 milliliter bottle. So I am not really a blue-black ink user. I'm not really a fan of that, but I just really wanted to try this Zaza out and see how I like it. When I do my review, you know, final impressions of these pens in a couple of, maybe 2 months, I will let you know how I enjoyed this ink. But you can see in the swatch here, it's like this nice, lovely, darker blue. Not quite blue-black, but leaning close there. But next to the dominant industry lake, it is very blue. Okay, so this is my Sailor. Pro Gear Slim. With a medium fine. And this is the Summer Rain. With Sailor, Shikiori, Zaza. Such a cool name. Now Zaza is supposed to be the like the sound of summer rain, and shito shito is the sound that the rain makes in the spring, for, you know, how Sailor had depicted for rain. And I think that this color definitely matches like how the sky looks when it's raining in the summer. There's this lovely gray blue, almost like a gray navy sky color when it rains really heavily in the summer. So I think it's such a beautiful poetic match, and you know, like, the color is a good match. The next pen is my Leonardo Momento Zero Grande, and this is my Mother of Pearl resin by Jonathan Brooks. And this is, oh my gosh, it's just such a lovely pen. It's super big though. It's a grande, so if you have small hands, it's still very comfortable unposted. It's a little long, but I do not recommend posting these because it's just kind of ridiculously big. But I write with these unposted, and it's just beautiful. It's perfect. My Leonardo Momento Zero Grande Mother of Pearl here comes with a rose gold nib. It's a stub nib, so it is extremely wet. And the Grandes that have gold nib also come with ebonite feeds, and ebonite feeds are extremely great at improving ink flow. And so the ebonite feed plus the gold nib plus the stub creates a super gushing fire hose. The last ink I put in here was Neko Yanagi, and it was the perfect pairing. It wasn't too wet, it wasn't too dry, it was just the perfect match. But for this month, I have a Sailor ink that is a little wetter. So it is the Sailor Kobe. This is Sailor Kobe Hime Ajisai. It's a hydrangea colored purple pink. Okay, so let's put a little drop of this purple Hime Ajisai over here. This is a very pretty chroma shading ink. All right, so this is my Leonardo. Momento Zero Grande, Mother of Pearl. With a stub nib. And the ink is Kobe Hime Ajisai. Wow, That purple is just beautiful. Now I know that my Momento Zero Grande, or my Mother of Pearl pen, is very like green with this iridescent white, but it's got that beautiful chatoyant lavender just throughout that just screams, put a purple ink in me. And so, you know, I've had two purple inks in here. This is a bright purple. The previous purple I had was a bluish purple. All right, and then my next pen is this Pilot Decimo. It's a lovely muted light blue color, and I have this in a fine nib. I didn't really like this when I had initially bought it back at the beginning of the year, so I had it benched for quite a while, but now I just wanted to try it out and see if I truly don't like writing with Pilot vanishing points. Yeah, they're just way too bouncy for me, and they're bouncy not because of like that the nib is soft, but it's because of the way this pen, like the mechanism of the pen, is springy because of this spring up here, where you have to press it down so that it would retract the nib. So because of this up here, you know, this spring here, the nib becomes springy and soft, and some people like that, but I don't really like it because it makes me lose control of my writing sometimes. It's like it's moving as I'm trying to write. I like a pen, a gold nib that is soft so that it acts like a shock absorber. This springiness, softness of this nib isn't like a shock absorber. To me, it's bouncy. So this Pilot Decimo, I paired it with a Pilot ink that was curated and created by Nibs and Flourish. So she created this lovely, lovely rose, dusty rose colored ink. And she called it Sunset Rose. I just love the name, love the ink color. And you require 3 inks in a 1-to-1 ratio, and it's Kosumosu, Kirisame, and Fuyugaki. So I mixed it up in here. It's in a vial. I don't think I put it in the right pen because this color requires like a really, really good medium to show off how beautiful the color is. I think that the fine nib I have this in is so fine that you can barely see how beautiful it is, but it's still nice, so I'm okay with it. So it's definitely got the orange undertone, and then the Kosumosu pink has been muted down by Kirisame, the gray ink, and I just love this so much. Okay, so this is my, what is this, the Pilot. Vanishing point. Decimo. And this is a fine nib. And the ink is Pilot Iroshizuku. Sunset Rose. Wow. It's shifting between a red, a rosy pink. I don't see the orange in the writing, but I can see a little bit of the orange in the swatch. It's lovely, it's wet, and this is a very legible color. Okay, the next pen is my TWSBI Eco Smoke Rose Gold. I just love the, you know, just love the whole aesthetic of these rose gold ecos. So And I like that the smoke is a little bit transparent and that it's not completely black. But the rose gold is just so nice and soft, but also contrasting against the black and clear barrel. All right, so in here, well, my TWSBI Eco is a stub nib. So it is a very wet writer. I have a very dry ink in here. I hate this ink for how dry it is, but I love the color. It is Chidori Cherry Blossom by First Wheel Press. Initially, I hated this ink so much because in almost all of my pens, it did not write well. And I had tested in this pen. It writes okay, but I'll talk more about it when I reflect upon this pen and ink combo later. But the ink in here is a very, very light pastel, like pink. It's supposed to like resemble the cherry blossoms. And I mean, you can see this ink is not completely full. I had sent some samples of these to my friends because I was just so in love with this, you know, just the aesthetic of this ink and everything, but then it was so light coming out of all of my pens. And the shimmer in here is like a rose gold champagne, and so it just, the color is just such a perfect like blend of everything. And it's a beautiful, beautiful muted pink. Great, super, super great for painting if you love painting. But this ink requires a very, very wet nib and feed. So I am going to try it with this one to see how well it writes. But lovely color. This is a more muted pink compared to the rose up here, the Sunset Rose. And then my last, eighth and last pen here is my Leonardo Supernova Bohemian Twilight. So for this month, I chose I just went with the Leonardo Officina Italiana ink that came with the box. This is called Noce Moscata. I think that means like some kind of peanut. So it's like a brown ink, and it shades really well. I don't think it shades out of this pen so well, just because this is a flex, an elastic extra fine, and it's a gold nib with an ebonite feed. So there's a lot of ink coming out. Shading inks tend to show off their shading better when you have a more average to dry nib combination. That way the ink has time to like have light passes of ink and then darker or more saturated passes of ink. But because this is such a wet flowing nib and pen, or you know, such a wet flowing pen and feed combo, that you just get a whole lot of ink at one, you know, in one go. So there it is, my elastic extra fine. It's just so funny that I have the finest nib in my Leonardo in the biggest pen. Okay, so let's do a little bit of the ink blot on there. This is a brown ink, so it does tend to have crusts. As you can already see here, there's some crustiness there. I'll clean that up in a bit. But this is a lovely, lovely chestnut purple. I just love it so much. When I first tried it in this pen, it had the most beautiful shading ever. From like an auburn brown to a dark, deep umber. It's just so amazing. Oh, You see that? The wetter parts of it is this lovely deeper brown, and then the lighter parts has red, orange. Oh my god, it's just it's one of the most beautiful browns I've ever seen. It's a warm brown, and then it has lighter, or it has some cooler brown undertones as well. Okay, so this is my Leonardo. Supernova. I'm just gonna initial BT for Bohemian Twilight. Elastic. Extra fine. And the ink is Leonardo. Noche Moscata. Yep, so it's such a wet pairing that you only see the lighter shades of brown in very few parts of the lettering. Okay, so let me just do a close-up of these gorgeous, gorgeous inks. So yes, I'm just doing a close-up. Here is Conklin Duragraph with the Wuthering Heights, lovely gray-green, and then Leonardo Momento Magico with Open Sea Atrium. It's such a striking gold shimmer, but the ink itself is a lovely, lovely green. And then Leonardo Momento Magico. Oh no, that I wrote that wrong. That's supposed to be Leonardo Momento Zero. Blue Aloha with Dominant Industry Lake, and you can see here with turquoise on the outside, teal on the inside, like a bright teal. It's actually dried a little bit less teal in this paper, but I think it's different. It's definitely different in, you know, different papers. So I, just love this ink so much. And then here is Summer Rain with Seiroshikiori Zaza. Lovely dark blue. And then Leonardo Momento Zero Grande with the Mother of Pearl with Kome Hime Ajisai. This, I'm seeing a little bit of feathering because it's such a wet pairing. So that might be the one thing I don't like about this, is that it might be a little too wet. But it still writes beautifully. And the color is just so gorgeous. And then this new color, Sunset Rose, with 3 Iroshizuku inks combined together. I do see a little bit of feathering as well. I'm not sure why it's so wet, but like it's a pilot ink in a pilot nib. And then the TWSBI Eco Rose Gold Smoke with a stub nib with Chidori Cherry Blossom. You can see how lovely this pink shade is. If you guys have this ink, let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on it, because I absolutely love the color, absolutely hate the flow. So, and then here is the Noche Moscata Leonardo ink. I can see it's got a little bit of like halo here. It's like a greenish brown halo, which is interesting. But it is absolutely divine. Beautiful, beautiful warm brown. Alrighty, well, that is all for my currently inked for this month. And, let me know down in the comments what ink colors you have inked up in your pens for July and or August. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching towards the end here. If you made it here, thank you so much, and remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.